In my last video, I spoke about the process of fertilization, and a subscriber requested that I make a video talking about the menstrual cycle, and I should also make it simplified the way I do all my videos. That's what we'll be doing in today's video. Hi, if you're new to my channel, my name is Yobusari. I am a Nigerian registered nurse and a United Kingdom registered nurse. On this channel, I talk about nursing, healthcare. Sometimes I also film content related to my personal career as a registered nurse. So if you're interested in content like that, do click on subscribe button to join the YouTube family and also on the bell icon so you don't miss out when I drop another amazing video. Alright? So in today's video, just like I said, we're talking about the menstrual cycle. Now, this is a process that actually precedes fertilization. That means it happens before what I discussed in the last video. If you've not seen my video on fertilization, I'll leave it down in the description box below so you can watch that later, or probably watch it first or later, but I would recommend that you watch it later so you do not get confused. So based off definition, the menstrual cycle is the physiological process. That means it is normal. It is not pathological. It is normal. So first off, menstruation is not a disease, so the menstrual cycle is not a disease. So it is a physiological process that occurs in females of childbearing age or after puberty, that is natural, is recurring, and what it does is basically that it prepares body for pregnancy. That's a very simple way to understand what the menstrual cycle is. So it lasts an average of about 28 days. That does not mean it must be 28 days. An average means that it could be less, a little bit less, or a few days more than 28 days, because different women, different genetics, different DNAs, different body functions, different weights, different age, different things could influence it. Stress, food, so many things could influence the length of your menstrual cycle, which means it should be an average of 28 days. It should not be not be too much below 28 or too much higher than 28. It should not be menstruating like twice a month, or like 1 month, skip a month, skip another month, then menstruate the 4th month. If there's an issue like that, then you need to see a doctor. So that's an average of 28 days, just like I said, and it is made up of 4 different phases, which I will be talking about in this video. For each of those phases, we'll be talking about what happens in that phase, what are the possible symptoms that a woman can experience in that phase, what are the key points to note as a nurse who has a patient, or somebody comes to you to ask you a question about menstrual cycle, what should you know about that phase. We'll also talk about possible hormones that might be at work in a woman during that phase. The first phase I'll be talking about is the menstrual phase, which goes on for an average of about 5 days in the menstrual cycle. That's like day 1 to day 5. And what happens in this particular phase is that it only happens, or it commonly happens, when there is no pregnancy, when a woman does not get pregnant. That means all the things that have happened in the previous menstrual phase gets shed off, like the endometrium will shed its lining, and there will be blood flowing out through the vagina. When I talk about the endometrium, I'm talking about the innermost lining of the uterus, that is the womb. So the uterus actually has 3 layers: the perimetrium, which is the outer layer, the myometrium, which is the middle and the muscular layer of the womb or the uterus, and the endometrium, which is the innermost layer. See, when we're talking about menstrual cycle, you're talking specifically about the endometrium. So like I said, in the menstrual phase, there is shedding of the uterine lining, blood and tissue are expelled through the vagina, and this will only occur if pregnancy does not happen. Symptoms that a woman or a person can experience during the menstrual phase include cramping, fatigue, and sometimes mood swing. Now, when you talk about cramping specifically, it should be mild to moderate. It should not be severe cramping. It should not be cramping to the point that you will not even be able to walk, you'll not even be able to get up, you'll not be able to eat, you're fainting. If things like that are happening, you're screaming, you're fainting because of menstrual cramps, you might need to see a doctor. In fact, you need to see a doctor, because that is already going over to the abnormal side. But as a nurse or as a midwife, you should expect that somebody who is going through the menstrual phase of the menstrual cycle would experience some form of cramping. So you should be able to educate them on how to stay clean, how to stay hygienic during this process, not to wear their pads for too long, change their underwears, And you should also, educate them on some pain management techniques, like probably use their hot water bottle, cold water bottle, depending on how their body works. Remember, two women's body are not the same. They work differently. What works for A may not work for B. And you check probably if they can have some pain medication as prescribed by the doctor, after taking into consideration different things like allergies, other medications they are taking, and things like that. So that is a brief or a simplified explanation of what happens in the menstrual phase. Now I'm going over to the follicular phase. Something that gets students confused about follicular phase and menstrual phase is that which one comes before the other. I would like to explain to you that there is some form of overlapping between these two phases. But follicular phase takes longer than the menstrual phase. So while you have some tests telling you that, oh, menstrual phase is day 1 to day 5, they will also say follicular phase is day 1 to day 14. There is some form, or there's some form of overlapping between these two phases. So as the menstrual phase is starting, as the endometrium is starting to shed, the body is also preparing for another follicular phase. So let's talk about what happens in the follicular phase. So the follicular phase is actually where the pituitary gland releases the hormone called FSH, which is follicle stimulating hormone. Basically, what this hormone does is that it stimulates the ovaries. I think I should have started by going over the anatomy of the uterus, but let's quickly do that. You see the ovaries, they are like the house of hormones, the house where you get the eggs from. Do you understand? So they are connected to the uterus, to the womb, through the fallopian tube. So you have the inner part of the female reproductive system looking like this, the womb, then 2 wings, which are the fallopian tube, then 2 balls, which are the ovaries. So what the follicle stimulating hormone, the FSH, is going to do is to stimulate these ovaries to like produce eggs. So once this whole production is what goes on in the follicular phase. And once the follicle matures, the body prepares to release the eggs. So in this follicular phase, the key hormones at work are the FSH and estrogen. The FSH helps the follicles to grow, while the estrogen helps the uterine lining that has been shed, or that is being shed in the menstrual phase, to regrow and prepare for another phase, or another cycle, or another possibility of pregnancy. I hope you're getting it. Menstrual phase, pregnancy does not occur, so the endometrium is shedding off everything it has already prepared in the previous cycle, and there's blood flowing out through the vagina. For the follicular phase, the pituitary gland is stimulating, producing like FSH, which will stimulate the ovaries to start releasing eggs, and release mature eggs specifically, not just any eggs, and body prepares to release these eggs. So while in menstrual cycle there are lower levels of estrogen, the level of estrogen in the body begins to rise in the follicular phase, like it gradually rises, and this could last from like day 1 to like day 13. The next phase that follows the follicular phase is the ovulation phase. Ovulation is when the mature egg is now being released from the ovaries. I hope you're getting my point. So now the doors are open, the mature eggs are coming out with the expectation that they would be fertilized by a sperm. So the key hormones at work in the ovulation phase is the luteinizing hormone, which triggers ovulation, and estrogen, which will reach its peak before ovulation. I hope my explanation of this whole story is simple enough. If it's not simple enough, let me know in the comment section. Probably I'll have to like text some more explanation and just pin the comments. Aside from menstrual cramps that comes during the menstrual phase, there is also some form of cramping that may occur in the ovulation phase. So it is possible. So some people be like, oh, I'm cramping, but I'm not yet on my period. That's what's happening. It's not supposed to be severe. Again, take note of that. Any abnormal amount of cramping as a woman, please see a doctor. Another thing you will notice in ovulation is that your vaginal discharge may get very cloudy and thick. It's not supposed to be smelling. It's not supposed to be yellow. It is not supposed to be green. It's still the same normal consistency of a normal vaginal discharge, but it might be thicker, heavier, and cloudy during the ovulation phase. The final phase we're going to be talking about is the luteal phase. The mature follicle that has been released, or the mature egg that has been released into the fallopian tube during the ovulation phase, now becomes the corpus luteum, and it starts secreting an hormone known as progesterone in order to hold, like to keep the endometrial lining in place, favorable for pregnancy. If pregnancy occurs, then we can now go over to pregnancy occurs. That means there's fertilization. That's when the video that I posted previously now comes into play. If that occurs, then goes over to pregnancy. If it does not, it breaks down and will return back to the menstrual phase. Luteal phase, the woman may also experience some premenstrual symptoms. I know our body is never regular. I know. So you may start having some mood swings just because your period is about to come. Some of you may start breaking out on your skin, because that happens to me a lot. I start breaking out on my face. Yeah, premenstrual. You know, different women, different things. Some people will start becoming bloated. Some will experience breast tenderness. You know, every woman has their own way of responding to this. You have some women studies start having diarrhea. Some their body temperature will just suddenly shoot up and all of that. Yeah, it happens. These are called premenstrual symptoms. So that might occur during the luteal phase. But if pregnancy doesn't occur, next thing you're going to is the menstrual phase. So menstrual phase, follicular phase, ovulation, and luteal phase. Do we understand? Do you want me to explain more? If you're preparing for your midwifery exams, I'm going to leave a link to a 1-month study plan that will help you to prepare for your exams easily in the description box. You can also go to my website to start accessing practice questions towards your midwifery exams. If you also want to see more of my videos, click on this playlist here, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.